What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So I feel bad, guys, because this thumbnail I have for this video is a little clickbaity or misleading because I'm not going to include CM Punk or Randy Orton in this video. Now, let me explain. I was going to originally do the top 7 wrestlers I would love to see return or debut in WWE and when and where they should do it, which is a long title. That's literally a sentence. But I'm not going to include these two gentlemen. I'm going to drop it down to 5 wrestlers because I feel like CM Punk and Randy Orton are easy choices. Everybody is talking about and picking them to return at Survivor Series. And of course, I'll be excited to see either one of these gentlemen show up, more specifically Randy Orton. So I'm going to put them in the honorable mention instead of taking up more time in this video to talk about why these two would be great to see to return. So this video is going to be the top 5 whatever I just said before it, because I'm going to botch that. Now, before we get started, hit that subscribe button and let's get into this. So topping off the list with the number 1 is a guy that everybody has been rumored coming back to WWE, a guy who's been posting things, teasing the opportunity of coming back to WWE, or probably trolling us. For all we know, he could be trolling us. And that is my guy, Matt Cardona. We all remember him as Zack Ryder. He had one of the most heartfelt moments, in my personal opinion, at WrestleMania 32 when he won the IC championship, and he went up to his dad and said, "Hey, Pappy, you happy?" He said, "Yes, Pappy's happy." And then they gave each other a hug. It was memorable, but then eventually he got let go. And that's really just what happens in wrestlers' career. But fortunate for him, he was able to go to the independent scene and make a huge career for himself. He blew up big, and these great gimmicks that he had, personality stuff that I'd never seen him display in WWE at all, walking around with 15,000 championships, especially with his run currently in GCW. He's been as big as he's ever been. So I think it is time for this man to come back home, okay? As Matt Cardona capitalize on the momentum that he's built in the independent scene before it fizzles out, which I feel like that he's good enough for it to continue to go on. Now, for him to come back, I think he has to obviously keep his name. He said that before. He said, "I have to stay as Matt Cardona," and I think that would be perfect. But the question would be, when and where should he come back? Now, this may sound like a crazy idea, but I'm going to say it anyways. You know me. You got to hear these thoughts, okay? So I think that he should return at Survivor Series. And why should it happen there? I think that he can start a feud with somebody that can benefit that other person's career in the eyes of their fans. Now, this person is already well accomplished. He legendary status of everything he's done, but I think at this point, most of his fans feel like that WWE does not take him seriously at all until finally this happened. And who I'm talking about is The Miz. He finally has something that seems to be serious as far as an IC title match against Gunther at Survivor Series. And you know what? We got to continue this momentum. We can't send him back to being the butt of every joke after this. And right now, while he's the babyface, it'll be great for Matt Cardona to come during that time. Now, how is this going to happen? There's one or two things this can happen, or two ways this can happen. Either A, which is the less likely way, which is probably I have a better chance of eating pineapple pizza or the Carolina Panthers of winning the Super Bowl this year, is for this to happen, for The Miz to win the IC championship off of Gunther, and Matt Cardona could come in and attack him. Or Matt Cardona can cost him the championship belt, and they can come up with reasons as to why. I mean, Matt Cardona, if you watch his personality in GCW, he really doesn't have to have a reason, but I guess with Triple H being head of creative, I guess they can create a reason for this to happen, and it can start a feud between the two of them, with Matt Cardona being one of the top heels in WWE, and The Miz right now, while he's being, you know, sort of a babyface at this point, it'll be a great foil. It'll be great for the both of them. Now, I'm going to add this person into this, and she's not going to take up the slot. It'll be great to see Maryse at Survivor Series to support her husband, for reasons I'm not going to say, which you guys understand. I mean, she's married, so I'm not going to do that, but you guys use your own imagination. But the other thing is, I think it'll be great to have her involved in this feud in one way or another, because we know Matt Cardona's wife is in WWE, Chelsea Green. So if Matt Cardona comes in and costs The Miz his match, she can do something to cost Chelsea Green her tag team championship match. Now, I'm not advocating for a one-on-one match between Maryse and Chelsea Green. I really do not want to see that. That does not have to happen at all. And I don't want to see a mixed tag challenge or anything like that. I did not like those, okay? I didn't like it at all, okay? But what can definitely happen is Maryse can kind of get involved somehow and then eventually go away. And then eventually this can boil up into a feud between these two men with a huge payoff, possibly at WrestleMania. I mean, it can have a long storyline leading up to that point. And I think it'll be great for The Miz to kind of reinvigorate his career currently. Not saying that he hasn't accomplished a lot, but at this point, that would be great to see, in my personal opinion. So Matt Cardona, Survivor Series. Number 2 on the list is somebody that most people have been talking about as well. Rumors has been circulating about WWE's reportedly going after this guy. According to my friends, I don't read a lot of the stuff, but I've heard about it. But I kind of thought this would be great to do at this point in time in his career. Anyway, and then this person I'm talking about is Okada. I think he'll be a great addition to WWE in my personal opinion. And a lot of people have made complaints about the fact of Japanese stars coming to WWE, that their accent is too thick, they're broken English, and etc., etc. They won't appeal to the larger crowd. And I've been saying this for years. I don't understand where that even comes from. I get some people might be kind of like, I don't really know what they're saying. I can't really go through the broken English to get it or to like them. But I'm like, dude, one of the biggest cultures right now is the anime culture. And I'm not saying this in joking. I'm saying that people watch anime with subtitles. So I think people are very acclimated with the idea of having to read subtitles when someone's speaking, okay? And people love Shinsuke Nakamura. That's all he's been doing right now. And he has some broken English and people still love them then. We got a champion in Io Sky. We got Kairi Sane that came back. People absolutely love Asuka, and her English isn't 100% perfect. So I think people are acclimated with the idea with someone speaking in that manner. And with WWE right now seeming to kind of try to promote or acclimate to Japanese wrestling fans, or Japan, I think it'll be great to add him over here and kind of expand that part of it. I mean, they are called World Wrestling Entertainment, so why not add more people who represent other countries in this in their most authentic way? And if it's not perfect English, oh well. Okada is great in the ring, and he's had ties with people in there already. He had a match against Finn Balor, I think back in 2017, and he had a classic match against Shinsuke Nakamura at New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax in 2015. That match is a banger. It is a classic. And in my personal opinion, the person I feel like that Shinsuke is talking to, if this is going to happen in his promos as of lately, he could be talking to Okada. Now, I know most people think he's talking to CM Punk. He could be talking to Randy Orton. Those things could be true, but it's a possibility that he could be talking to Okada. But I think Okada should show up at Royal Rumble. I think it'll be amazing. Some people who are not familiar with him has called him the Japanese Cody Rhodes. Listen, guys, he you got it all wrong. I'll just say that. But at the end of the day, Okada showing up at Royal Rumble, that will be fantastic to see. All right, so person number 3 on this list is a person that most of you guys probably aren't familiar with, or maybe you've heard some rumblings. I also heard about this person as well because I brought this up to my friend, and they were like, oh, remember that girl that you were talking about for the past year? Yeah, they're saying that WWE is pursuing her or whatever. And I'm like, what? And he showed me the article. Again, I don't read these dirt sheets. I just found out through other people. And yeah, I'm happy about this. I was excited about Io Shirai before she came to WWE. I was like, I hope she comes there. I cannot wait for it to happen. And this is the only other Japanese star, as far as the ladies go, that I've been this excited about the possibility of her coming to WWE. But I think like her and just like Okada, they probably have a more chance of going to AEW than WWE or staying independent. But this next person is Julia. I would love to see her in WWE. And the first match I've ever watched of hers is, I was a fan of Hana Kimura from Odio Tai, and RIP to her. I don't know if you guys remember her. She was found dead years ago. So RIP to her. But that match between the two of them made me a huge fan of Julia, and I've been following her in Stardom ever since. She is fantastic in the ring. She has a great look, guys. So great look, and she's fantastic in the ring, as I said. But I think that she should debut at an NXT pay-per-view, or probably on one of the NXT shows, because I think that she'll be great to add to NXT. Because one thing that I did love about NXT back in the day in the black and gold era, and I know this is like, oh, back in my day, but one of the things is I love to see wrestlers down there that was so talented that you knew if they were brought to the main roster that they would take over. We had people like Velveteen Dream before he did all the crazy stuff that he did. We had the Ricochets, the Adam Coles and Undisputed Era, the Keith Lees, the Matt Riddle. Like, we had a list of people that at any point in time, we knew. Bianca Belair, we knew. If they, Asuka, if we knew. Bailey, we knew if they stepped up to the main roster, then they would kill it. And for the most part, we have not been proven wrong. And I think that she, with Jade Cargill and maybe some other pieces added down there, I think they can definitely create this foundation of stars down in NXT to make it definitely more and more appealing to a lot of people, and especially if they go head to head to AEW, they can do a more organic head to head as opposed to pumping it with steroids like what they did with bringing John Cena down there and the Undertaker down there to combat with AEW. Am I happy that WWE won? Yes, but you know, I would have rather them win it a more organic way, in my personal opinion. No GMOs. That's just for me. But at the end of the day, I would love to see Julia show up at NXT. All right, number 4 on the list, okay, is a guy that most guys probably aren't familiar with, but he's one of my favorite Impact wrestlers of all time, in my personal opinion. Top 10, definitely, and one of the most faithful people there. And again, this is maybe another person who's more geared towards going to AEW, especially because of his connections there. And they do more matches that he seemed to be a lot more interested in, like a lot of the bloody matches, like we just saw Swerve and we saw Swerve and god dang it, Swerve and what the heck is his name? Hangman Page. How did I forget his name? Hangman Page just have at Full Gear, which was a crazy bloody match. But I think this person is more geared towards that. And the person I'm talking about is Sammy Callahan. He's a free agent right now. He may not be able to do the intergender matches where he's just slamming women all over the place. He's not an abuser, but they just allow that over there in Impact. But I think if he shows up, especially on SmackDown, and he has a tie with Karrion Kross, I think if they team up and become a tag team, I think it'll be great. Or some type of mini faction, even if they aren't a tag team. If they just connected in some way or fashion, it'll be great for Karrion Kross, because they're doing absolutely nothing for this guy, okay? Like, I feel like he's getting paid to do live shows and sit down and watch TV. And that's no disrespect to him. If he's getting money that way, he can't control it. But I feel like they botched him so much over and over that he deserves an opportunity, a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think if he stays with that character where it's the cards that made the choices and Sammy Callahan become a part of his faction, or they become a tag team, I think it'll be an interesting situation to happen. And Sammy can't debut at a pay-per-view. Some people may not even know who he is, so I don't want him to get a reaction. Just like I said for Julia, she should like show up at an NXT taping. I don't want them to get the reaction that Kairi Sane got at Crown Jewel, or Mia Yim got when she returned to WWE. People were like, oh, is that a fan that just came out that's helping out, or a celebrity? Like, no, I want him to get his proper due, and I think that would be great to see, in my personal opinion. And number 5 on this list, coming from the same promotion of Impact, and this person right here, most of you guys probably don't even know who she is. Most of you guys don't even remember that she was in WWE at one point in time and was cut. But whenever I talk about Naomi, and Naomi isn't my pick, when I say that she has a possibility of going to Impact, drumming up a great independent career, and then possibly coming back to WWE to negotiate more money, this is the kind of the person that I refer to when I talk about that every single time. And this lady right here, when she left from NXT and went to Impact, she had a great career. 2 times knockout champion for long reigns, and she did a fantastic job. She unlocked this part of herself that I didn't even see before. She's a huge star. She has a huge personality, and I think her coming back to WWE will be great. She'll come back at Royal Rumble because her contract is up with Impact at, I think, January 1st, and she should show up to the pay-per-view where Impact turns into TNA. I forget which pay-per-view that is. And she's a very respectable person, a very professional person, so I think she should, and she would. But I think that she would add more to this women's division, and I'm talking about the virtuoso Deonna Purrazzo. I think she would do great. Most people don't know much about her. They assume because they watch the videos that she's not that great on the mic, or not that great in the ring. The funny thing is, most people say that about Impact because it's not the quality of TV that people are used to, so it doesn't always accentuate the best look for people. But people don't realize how great these people are until they come to WWE. So I think for her, she has the personality. She is a really good technical wrestler. So her coming to WWE, I think it'll be a fantastic job, or coming back and being a big mid-carder, and she could be a huge star. She has it. All she needs is someone to book her properly, and I think the sky is the limit for her, especially if they're trying to have more new stars have an opportunity at being the top of the women's division. And I think she's one of those people who can definitely do that, in my personal opinion. So at the end of the day, let's run down this list. Number 1, Matt Cardona. Number 2, Okada. Number 3, Julia. Number 4, Sammy Callahan. Number 5, Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I know most of these people may have a 0 chance of signing to WWE. I completely understand that. I live in reality, but at the same time, we've seen weirder things happen. We didn't think Will Ospreay was going to sign to AEW. I mean, from what people have said, that he had a high chance of being in WWE. I thought that he was going to go to AEW because I saw him have that match against Alexander at Impact. But hey, you know, weird things happen. Ric Flair got signed to a multi-year contract at AEW. The Big Show is wrestling. who thought these things would happen? But anything can happen in the wrestling community, and that's what I love about it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. What is your top 5 wrestlers you would like to see return or debut in WWE anytime soon? And when and where would you like them to debut? I would love to hear your opinions on this. Thank you so much for supporting. Salute. Peace. Have a good day.